Hi, I'm Brandon Reyes with TRU Release and AXCEL Sites, and we are now shipping the new execution release. So I want to take this time and show you all the features about this new wrist strap release we just came out with. As you can see, I have two different models. I have the execution on a Globo style strap, and you can see the Globo is where we adjust here for length in 3/16 of an inch increments. And then this is the web style, and this web style strap connection system includes our new cinch strap. So it has a micro adjust capability by loosening the set screw on the front here. And we suggest you do this about 7 turns, and there's a wedge in there that you'll see working out the back side of the release aid, and that'll allow you to adjust the length by pulling in and out. And then once you get your desired setting, lock that back down to secure that it doesn't pull through. So that's the two styles. So what's different about the execution compared to the execute that we had in years past? Well, the first thing is we had a lot of input from hunters that wanted a very similar type release in the execute, but something a little more readily available and easier to load, and that's why we have came out with the execution. So as you can see, it's an all aluminum body, so you don't have the weight as the execute, because the execute is a brass body that is nickel plated. So there is one cool feature, it's lighter weight, and with that, the nickel plating you can see on the execute model is shinier. Hunters don't like shiny, so this is an anodized black aluminum, all aluminum, to prevent that shininess. So other cool features are we've got a new relocated cocking bar. It's smaller. It's on the opposite side that the execute was, so it's kind of out of the way of your finger if you like to pull the bow back and hold your index finger on the right side of the release if you're a right-handed person. So now the cocking bar is on the opposite side and it's smaller. So you'll see as I depress the cocking bar, that'll set the trigger. If the jaw is not in a closed position, you simply just click it closed and it's ready to hook up and fire. So that new relocated cocking bar is on both models in the same exact location, and like I said, it's smaller, to get out of the way of expanding or opening and to the face side. The jaw opens directly away from the face, and with that, you don't have to worry about the jaw or the string oscillating, across the side of your face when it would open the opposite direction. So the jaw opens away from your face if you're either right or left-handed. So that's a cool feature. The biggest thing that I hear or have heard over the years is the execute was hard to hook up because you simply had to close the jaw closed onto the D-loop. Or this particular one, you can do by feel. The hook is set, so now I can just hook it up by feel onto the actual D-loop, and it can be done without taking your eyes off any game if you're in a hunting situation. So that's a cool feature. The execution also features our new hybrid trigger system. The hybrid trigger system is a trigger, an all-in-one trigger that with 3 different mounting locations. So as you can see, these two are 2 of the options. This is the forward speed type trigger is what we're calling it. So you can have the same draw length and anchor point with a forward type trigger like this, and be able to extend your draw length if you wish. So that's why we call it the speed. You're able to get a little more speed. This is more of a comfort swept back trigger. This is probably what the majority of our customers prefer, the more relaxed swept back style trigger. And I'll show you quickly how you can invert this trigger into another comfort position, which is we kind of stumbled onto this when we made the release, but it's kind of an inverted position. And as I mount this back, you'll see that the trigger is actually in an upside down location, and we have knurled both sides of the trigger for feel, if you're going to be using it with a glove or anything like that, so you can still get a good grasp on the trigger itself. So this is kind of like the inverted comfort style trigger. So it just gives you a little bit of sweeping length. So if you want to get closer to the end of the trigger to activate it, you can. A lot of times by doing that, it allows you to get the trigger to feel a little bit lighter because you're getting leverage farther away from the actual body. So that's an option as well. So that's the hybrid trigger and the 3 different positions that you can put the trigger. Adjustment, it's just like the Execute. There are 2 adjustments. On the top here, it takes a 5/64 Allen wrench. And now this is where you're adjusting for sensitivity. So if you want to make the release heavier or harder to activate, you're going to depress the spring or turn the screw clockwise. The nice feature that our engineers put into this model is that you cannot back this screw out all the way. There's a dowel that stops against the thread of the screw that allows the screw to not be completely taken out. So that's kind of a feature that ensures that you're at the lightest possible setting, but also ensures that you are not going to lose your screw by taking it out too far. This travel is going to take a 50 thousandths Allen wrench, and it's located on the back side of the release. Now this setting is always very important because if you have the travel setting set too close to the edge, the release will not cock. So what we want to do, from the factory, we generally cock the release and turn the set screw clockwise until the release pops. You can see I went about 1/8 of a turn. Factory setting is going to be about 1/4 of a turn from bottom, or from that misfiring location. What that is going to do is going to ensure that you will, when you cock your release and hook it up, are not going to have any misfires. I'm not saying that you cannot shoot it at 1/8 from bottom. It's probably going to feel really nice. You're not going to feel any travel, but from factory, we're going to set them at 1/4 of a turn. There's a lock screw for that sensitivity and travel screw, but I'll show you the sensitivity travel first. Once you get your desired setting, just snug it up to where this is going to ensure that your travel adjustment screw will not move. And likewise, on the front, you'll see another lock here, and that, once it's snugged up, is going to ensure that your sensitivity screw doesn't move. So that's how they will be set from the factory, and this particular release is going to be able to be set pretty light and probably more heavier than most of our wrist strap models in the past. So that's the all-new execution from TRU. Feel free to check us out on any of our social media platforms or on our website at www.truball.com.